us this morning, Crawford County Commissioner, Mr. Christopher Soff. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Nice to be seen.
How you doing?
I am blessed. Thank
are.
you. I am very blessed and appreciative and just happy to be here.
You had me up till that point.
Yes, let me work on that. I'll try to sell it a little better.
Sell it a little
next
better
time.
there.
Boy, this is a busy time of the year. You've had a really busy fall.
We have.
Personally, professionally, and just congratulations on everything. And,
Thank you.
There's so many places to start here as we're wrapping up the year. Let's get right into it. Let's just talk about the budget.
Sure.
Years past, I know there's been a lot to go through with the budget. You've got costs going up. There's a lot of things happening.
Right.
Has that affected the way you've come into this budget season? And what are your thoughts?
I will tell you that it is definitely in the back of our minds. We understand the situation where everyone is, but we also understand that the people who are the taxpayers who fund county government cannot be hit with another tax increase. So the county has pledged, and we are holding to that pledge, that we will not be raising taxes this year. Our first blush at our budget, and I didn't bring the budget, but it's about that thick. I mean, it really is. And the finance department, Stephanie and her team, pour through it, as do the commissioners and all the department heads and elected officials. Our first blush, we're about $1 million out. And so now is the task of going back to each of those department heads and elected officials and asking for them to find ways that they can trim. So we're down to a balanced budget, and we will get there. I have no doubt we will get there. It's always a shifting of priorities and a balancing act, as we say every year. But again, I'm confident and appreciative of everyone's input, and it'll all work out well.
Do you kind of get a sense in the fall what's going to happen, or is it a year-round conversation you have with department heads and entities to kind of figure out, hey, let's get a jump on this so that we're not bottlenecked at the end of the year?
It's a little bit of both, actually. Because all throughout the year we have to approve expenses, some of which are known and budgeted, others which are not necessarily known at the time that we pass the budget. So the way we handle that is certain line items, we need to move money from one line item. They expected to spend a certain amount for this thing, but this cropped up and it needs to be done, so we'll shift money within a budget to handle those types of things. I really credit, though, those department heads and elected officials who on their own analyze their budgets monthly, and they know where they're at. We don't necessarily get into that every day. Our big push, again, in coordination with the finance department, is in the fall. But they take it upon themselves to know where they're at, which really helps out the county and helps the operation continue to move smoothly.
Officially passed by the end of the year, right?
Yes, absolutely. We did, again, the first, I don't want to say reading of it, but the initial indication of what it will be. And we have 2 voting meetings in December. My sense is that the first voting meeting, I believe that's the 14th, we'll again maybe briefly discuss, but it will be passed by our final meeting of the year.
If folks want to take a look at it, where can they find it?
It's on display, I believe, at Benson Library, at the Meadville Public Library. It is also on the counter at the Commissioner's office, maybe on the county website. I'm not certain of that, and I don't want to give misinformation. I believe it is, but if it's not there, definitely hard copies are available for people to look through.
Okay. Actually, it might be, on the finance section of the county website.
So what you're telling me is that you're scrolling the internet
I
while you're
just
talking
looked.
with me, and shopping.
Yeah, but at
Can
least
you minimize Amazon, and we can?
Yeah, but I have to get a jump on these deals
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
as you're talking
Yeah,
budget.
the budget will only be there for another 8 minutes and 42 seconds. So back now.
Put this in my cart, right?
Yes, please.
Exactly.
All right. So take a look at it. And again, it's available for people to take a look at.
Yes.
As you said, there's a lot to it.
Right.
So.
And the difficulty, of course, is that numbers are numbers. What you don't see really are the makeup behind the numbers, and that's really difficult. And we understand that if county government isn't your world, and it's our world because it's what we do while we're with the county. So we appreciate the fact that folks may have questions and, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Ask those department heads, ask those elected officials, ask us, and we will get you the answer. Then we go from there.
You've been known as the election guy.
Have been.
Just wrapped one up about a month ago now.
I did, yes.
Your thoughts on how everything went?
Honestly, I thought it went amazingly smooth this time. Couple of glitches here and there, some normal things. We have created an environment where I think many poll workers are on edge because people scrutinize to the nth degree everything they do. If they have a piece of paper in their hand, they're automatically thinking, oh, there's a conspiracy somewhere there. And there's not. So when a minor issue of, gee, the printer isn't, the printer drawer isn't fit in quite right, it sends everyone into this panic. And so when each of the commissioners and the poll workers and rovers, when we visit the polling locations, we just say, relax, it'll be okay. You have a manual in front of you. All these things are addressed. I can't stress enough the appreciation we have for poll workers and the long days that they put in so that we can exercise our rights to vote. But all in all, a very smooth election, a relatively small ballot this election cycle. Next year will be larger. We'll have so many of the county races, the school board races, borough, township, those types of things. So it will be a bigger ballot next time. But I was very pleased and appreciative of Eric and Francis, my fellow election board members. It's a great team, Jess and Heather and Reggie, Gina and Matt, who work in elections as well. Just a phenomenal job by everyone. And so all in all, I think it was a really good day.
So we had election night coverage,
Yeah.
and it just felt a little odd. I mean, it was just kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Like headquarters, really quiet. This is, I think, the first time I've ever experienced something like that. Is the fun out of the local politics or even this level?
Now I would, so two things. Number one, quiet and calm on election night. Thank you. That's exactly what we're looking for. I do. I think that is, in this particular election cycle, a function of the offices that were on the ballot. Next year, I expect it to be different because you'll have commissioner races, and you will have your neighbors and friends on the ballot running for positions that affect your daily lives more. I don't want to say more than, but every bit as much of it.
Yeah, it should.
It should.
Is part of it though too, where you'd have both headquarters, busy election night, watching returns, maybe even just celebrating a lot of the hard work that goes in. Even if your candidate didn't win, there's a lot of work that goes into that, and we thank everybody who runs.
Thank you.
It's needed, right?
Right.
But is it because hey, we're not really going to know for a week or two that maybe we don't need to do that, or
I think the manner in which election results are provided has also changed, because 5 years ago the software only allowed us to project the vote totals on a screen, and so the media and or a candidate would come into the courthouse and sit in the conference room and look up on the screen and say, okay, this person, those are the vote totals. Now, as we get those results in, as they're processed, they're immediately sent to the state and they're posted on our county website. You've got more people communicating, honestly, with cell phones and texting back and forth and going to precincts and getting the numbers from the tapes. So I think you don't have to have a central location now where everybody must go in order to get those results. I think it's just the general way we get information now. It's from many sources all throughout the process, not at one particular place and time. I think that's really, in my opinion, affected why you may not have as many of those gatherings by the political parties at their respective headquarters like you used to.
Yeah. I kind of miss those days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I got a taste of it with the Republican side, and boy, it was cool because there was a state representative there, Brad Rowe, and it was really nice to see,
Sure.
how we got to see the behind the scenes of a campaign, and I got to really talk with him about that,
Right.
and off the record things that, these guys are humans too.
Sure.
So
Sure.
it was really neat to see that. And there was a little hubbub, but as Luke had told me in the past, this was quiet compared to years.
Well,
years
even
ago.
back in the spring when we were doing, I mean, it was great because I think Fetterman had been through, so we got perspective from local folks,
Yeah.
from their headquarters on that experience and having a candidate come. Hey, but again, as you said, next year maybe with the local candidates, you're going to see
Right.
more of that talk and
Right.
that need to, hey, let's get together and celebrate this.
And again, we always say in the election world, we pride ourselves as voters that, wow, we got 30% turnout. Isn't that great? And those of us sit back and say, my goodness, we should be ashamed of ourselves. We should have 98% turnout,
Yeah.
that type of thing. And
Some precincts you saw 50+%.
Yes. There are certain either candidates or issues bring certain people out at certain precincts. So, we find that if a school board race is potentially contentious for a certain reason, that will bring voters out in that district. And it's an interesting thing. And it was also very interesting when we would adjudicate votes, when we would go through certain ballots that maybe had an errant mark on them or a write-in that we had to account for. How people vote. We don't know who these voters were, but split votes many times, and they may vote for a Republican here and a Green Party over here, or a Democrat here and the Libertarian here. It was just very interesting to see that kind of thing. So, just something that
Always
we pick
amazing,
up on.
isn't it?
It is
Yeah.
always amazing. Yes.
And it takes a lot of time. So, as you mentioned the crew involved in that, thank you for doing that because I know you guys hear a lot from people like, when's it going to be done?
Right,
And
right.
We need these numbers. And,
Right.
But it takes time and you want to do it right. And I know you take a lot of pride in that.
We
And
do.
so
Thank you. Yes.
We appreciate
we,
that.
We always say accuracy above speed. And
which is the opposite here.
Well, yeah,
But you understand.
I'll save that for the 9 o'clock hour.
Please do.
But yeah, it really is. And this year, again, the team was just great. And I think we finished this year even earlier than maybe we expected. But everything just worked out so very well. We certified, and some counties still haven't yet, and that's of course causing some issues. But everything was great here.
That's great. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream Television and on Armstrong's Neighborhood Channel, listening to it on the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. Crawford County Commissioner, Mr. Christopher Soff, with us here this morning. Looking back at 2022, what are some highlights for you?
Definitely the fair. I can't say enough how wonderful it was to see that back in its glory, if you will, and able to see people out and enjoying the fair the way it should be. Again, congratulations to Dean Maynard, as Fair Board President, and all the Fair Board members, that team. I think they just put on a wonderful fair, and just like they always do, the day the fair ended, they started preparing for next year's fair.
that's
That's
incredible.
what it takes, and it's dedication and it's hard work. We've got renovation projects at the courthouse going on. The new ramp is installed and fully functional right now. The window project is coming to a completion. It looks great, much more energy efficient.
Have you noticed a difference?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah, my office is colder. That's because I keep the windows open, but I should. No, it absolutely has cut down on our boiler having to work so hard. And with the HVAC project, that if you've been in the courthouse lately, you know that it's a construction zone right now. We had said for a long time there's going to be some pain, there's going to be some
Sure.
things you need to walk around and be careful of, and it took a while for us to get there, but we're fully in that mode right now. So I just ask people to be careful when they come in the courthouse. But the crews have been wonderful. They'll only be there for another couple months and get it all buttoned up, and it will benefit the courthouse, the county, and the taxpayers for years and years to come. So that's been a good project.
Do you remember anything from January, February?
It's funny because I was just talking with someone else about that because trying to plan something, and they mentioned an event that we did in January, and I said, "Oh my gosh, didn't we just do that?" And yet that was 10, 11 months ago, and here we are. And I know you mentioned January because my birthday is in January, so I want to thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
What, anything else really stand out? Anything little? I mean, these are some big things. Anything little that you just said, "Well, you know what? I'm proud of us. We helped with this." Or
I just I'm proud of our ARPA committee in really giving deep thought to how we can best utilize rescue plan dollars to benefit the citizens of the county. Vigorous discussions about what can we do that will have a lasting impact on this county. And so, some of those are big, some of those are little. Just keeping county government going with 650 employees, and it's a big corporation. So you get so caught up, I think, in keeping it going that I don't really stop and reflect on those victories. I know we've had victories, but they've been a team coming together no matter what it is, and we just keep moving along.
Is there anything you were hoping to accomplish by the end of the year that maybe you have to move to next year? Or?
No, not really. There's some issues that we have with computer systems that, thanks to Windows, that has certain things at the end of life, and as any of our worlds are right now, they're very computer software driven. So we'll have some things like that we'll have to deal with. But no, I'm just pleased with where we are, and happy that we'll be going into 2023, I think, on a good note, and it will be my last year there, so that will be maybe a year more for reflection.
Yeah. Do you kind of go into it with some things you want to accomplish before wrapping things up, or you just take it as it comes?
I take it as it comes, because it's not, we've said it's not about me, it's not about things that I want to get done, it's that group of people who are committed to providing service for the citizens of Crawford County, and just cannot stress enough how blessed I feel to be working with the two guys who I work with, and everybody in our office and the other office. It's really, it's a great organization of which I'm very proud.
The budget, by the way, 264 pages. So
Yes.
Get a jump on that if you want to take a look at it.
Yes. Yeah. Look at page 84. No, I have no idea. It's like the Book of Secrets. Page 46. Tell me what's on that. I have no idea.
Budget preparation, Crawford County Courthouse. Yeah. It's a good page.
It is.
It's a good page.
It's definitely worth a read. So curl up, get some hot cocoa, build a fire in the fireplace, get that budget out, and it's a great way to spend
or a glass of wine. Or
There you go.
Or a case.
Whatever.
Or a case.
Whatever it takes. Yes.
All right. 3 wishes. 3 things you'd ask Santa for the county.
3 things I would ask Santa for. I would ask, people are going to hear this and go, "Oh, that's disgusting." I would ask Santa to give those 3 wishes to somebody else, because I cannot be more blessed right now with my daughter and son-in-law and my wife and my family. The work that I do, I cannot ask for anything more. So I will defer my wishes to
What about
others.
the county, though? What would you want for the county?
Finish up the HVAC project and get the courthouse back to not being a construction zone. Just really, moving through 2023 and valuing the services that the county provides. And, if people have questions, just ask us about why we do what we do in county government. We do it for them. I mean, we're not here to help ourselves. Our function is to benefit the citizens of the county. So engage yourselves. Be an active member of the county.
If you could sum up this year in just 1 or 2 words, what would you say?
Again, blessed. Cannot overstate that. Just blessed to be in northwestern Pennsylvania, blessed to be in Crawford County, and if anyone out there feels that Crawford County isn't what it should be, then help us make it what you think it should be.
2023.
Math is hard.
It is.
I saw you struggled with that.
1 year plus.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
More normal than 2022, which was more normal than 21.
Yeah. Normal. I don't know what the definition of that word is anymore.
Yeah.
If it were 2018, I would maybe tell you, but at 19, 20, 21, 22, when we figure out what normal is, then maybe we can say, yeah, that was normal.
Okay. Well, you won't find out on this show. So.
No, yeah,
No,
that's for sure.
no, you won't.
Abby normal.
Our
I
end
guess.
of life is coming up at the
Exactly.
end of the month. I'm not sure if there's going to be an update for us or not.
Well,
so.
I understand that.
To everybody at the courthouse, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Thank you.
To the commissioners, thank you for giving of your time and coming on this program once a month. We greatly appreciate it
Well, it's an honor for us to do that.
and look forward to continuing into the new year.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. All the best to you and your family.
Thank you, you as well.
Crawford County Commissioner, Mr. Christopher Soff, joining us here this morning.